Pass it around. Hazardous material, primordial, chief foresight, scratch cat.
Password confirmed. Stand by.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Izzy Rock. I'm just updating a podcast today. I'm updating episode 34. Episode 35. And I was putting it together, and I thought you guys might be interested in checking out kind of how I put together my podcast, because I get a lot of questions, I get a lot of feedback, but I get a lot of people asking the same questions. How do you put together a podcast? And so I'll do my best to try and keep it as basic as possible to help you get through some stuff. For one, how I do it, I record into this microphone. I have two microphones. This one is a Behringer. Let me see here if I can. This is a Behringer Ultra Voice. Yeah, it's a Behringer. Shure 58s are good, but I have let me show you here. I have, see this attaches into the microphone. Okay, so I have a bunch of those, and depending on the sizes that you want to get, it's up to you. I think mine are like 6 foot or whatever, but that records into this, and this is pretty much what Ari Shafir, who does the Skeptic Tank, what a lot of podcasters use, including myself. In fact, when I first started, I just used these. See those? I just used those. And you heard all the ambient sound. When you actually plug in to the mic, see that cord? That other piece is the other part to it. I don't know if these are male or female. I don't know all that. I would assume this is the female part. That's the male part. I don't know. But the batteries drain quickly in these, and these make huge files. I just did an episode, probably about 36 minutes, something like that. Let me see how big this file was, to give you a basic understanding of how big some of these files can be with that. Do you hear my dog scratching at the door? And this wasn't planned or anything, guys. I just figured you guys would want to see, so I don't have everything laid out. But this is a 393 gigabyte or a megabyte file. Do you see that? Hopefully you see that. But yeah, it's a big file. I put that WAV file, because it's a WAV file when you record it on here. And let me see if I can eject this. I'm going to pause this so I can piece these together. The initial startup cost can be kind of expensive. I'd say for the Zoom H4n, the mic, it was about $300 for me. For these Behringer mics, I got 2 of those plus cases. Let me show you my case real quick. My case. This came inside the case. Do you see this right here? See this nice case? This case came with the Behringers. See Death Squad, Inspired Disorder Collective, Mediocre Show, and this. But yeah, the 2 mics and the cords were about $100. And then I got two other mics. Plus I got a Samsung mic, but not to confuse you guys, this is really important. And this is the card that goes in it. It's SDHC 8 gigabyte SanDisk Ultra. Is that what it is? SanDisk Ultra. So you want to check this out. Files will load up quickly on here, so you may have to end up deleting some files along the way. So you got to make sure you have a hard drive and space, because these files will take up a lot of space. I'm sure I could reduce them, but I don't, because I want sound quality to be good. And once I put them together, and then I get rid of them, or I put them on a hard drive. So after it's all recorded, and it's all recorded in here, and when you first start trying to figure out how to use this thing with these mics, it can be a little tricky, especially if you're like me and you don't even look at the instruction manual. You're like, fuck it, I'm going to figure it out myself, or I have to use cuss words. I did. Izzy. This is how I talk sometimes, so get over it. It's just words. So that's how I do the podcast. I record all that, and then I take that card and I put it into, let me show you here. All right, give me a second. Okay, so this is the last part. This is where all the stuff goes into it. And so once I put the card into the computer and I put the files in, I send the file. I put it on my desktop too because it's easier to get to and everything. But once I take that file, it's a WAV file on the Zoom H4n. You take that WAV file and you put it into this. See the WAV file over here? It'll say Tales from the Hardside 35.wave. This will say output. So once you put it through here, it spits it out as an output, and it levels all the voices and everything else. So if you have somebody who talks low, it will raise their voices up. Also, I use GarageBand for editing. I've become a Mac supporter over the years. Transition to all Mac products at this point. And I don't get paid by them. I wish I did. I wish they were a sponsor, but I love their editing programs. They're simple. I'm not a dude who went to college for computers or anything. I just figured the shit out. Yeah. So I use GarageBand and I use iMovie if I'm editing videos and whatnot. Like this is going to be edited in iMovie. And right here is what GarageBand looks like. See the little guitar looking thing? Yes, shameless plug. Tales from the Hardside. Go check it out. It's how all this stuff gets done. But so GarageBand will pop up like this. Let me show you. New project. Podcast. Double click it. And it will pop up. And I will say Tales from the Hardside 35. Oh, yeah, I see. I typed it in. Tales from the Hardside 35. Boot create. Okay. And so it will go through all this process. Okay. Yeah, this is probably boring to you right now. Yeah. So check me out on Twitter at the Izzy Rock, Instagram the Izzy Rock. Rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast, Tales from the Hardside, and I'm part of the Inspired Disorder Collective. And come check out the Death Squad community on Twitter. So, let me see, I'm going to pause it. So, here's GarageBand when it's open, and you'll take these files over here. See, they have music, photos, or movies. And I have all these drops pre-made. All these drops right here. So I take a drop like, let's say, the Duncan Trussell drop.
Hello. Hi, this is Duncan Trussell, and you're listening to Izzy Rock, Tales from the Hardside. God bless you and your family, and may your mommy be fat.
Yeah, what Duncan said. So, and then I take Duncan's file. Oh, look at that. I move it over here to jingles. Or whatever. So you have all these, it becomes like a puzzle piece. Okay? It becomes like a puzzle piece. And so your file should look like that. See how it's loud? It shouldn't look smaller than that. And so then you take the little pieces and you put them together in the different areas right here on GarageBand. You can make them different names. This is male voice, female voice, jingles. You can put songs, and you just layer them as they go along. And you can put like the podcast photo on here. See right there. You can really do a lot of stuff. This is neat right here. when you're sending it to iTunes, to have your description, you can go to this little middle symbol down here. It's a I in a circle. And I don't have all the technical terms, guys. I'm a regular dude. And but you can put in your description here. You can make it explicit, which all mine are always explicit. But you just build from there, and it's very easy to use. And so I use GarageBand, and once it's edited, then you drop up here and you push shit. This is what I do: share podcast to iTunes. Okay? See that? Can you see that? You see it. Share podcast to iTunes. And so, give me a second, and I'll show you the next part. Okay, and so finally, for the last part that you do, you take the edit and see I've layered it all nicely. See how it layers? I layered it all. And then what I do, and also I have the podcast description over on the right hand side, and I take and I send share podcast to iTunes. And this is where it can get tricky, because depending on how big you want it, or the size of the file, some of your places might not do it, but I have 41 gig. Like, some of your servers might not allow a big file. And if I added album art, that would be over 100 gigs, because I'm too dumb to know how to reduce the size. So what you're going to do here is share with iTunes. It's going to create a mix down and send it to iTunes. And then once it does that, what I'll do here is I go to TalkShoe.com. Okay, and TalkShoe.com is a good website. You have to figure things out for yourself. I can't tell you how to do everything. And then I send the file here, right here. I paste my description of the podcast. I put the date. Today is November 26th, Monday, November 26th. I put the time. It's 4 o'clock. Just to be funny, I'll put 4:20. And then I put the podcast title here, which this is going to be episode 35. Tales from the Hardside, episode 35. And then you upload recording once it comes through iTunes. And that's it. iTunes is a mirror site. So iTunes, you have to set this up and then send it from TalkShoe to iTunes. It will send it there itself. So you have to set all that up. It's very easy to use. Libsyn is another good service. If you want to pay per month. This costs me nothing. All the equipment and stuff does cost me, but I pay nothing for TalkShoe. And I upload about 4 to 5 episodes a month. So, yeah. So that's all I have. So, yeah, check it out. I think I helped you guys as much as I can. Don't be too hateful. Google that shit if you need some more help. All right? Later.
You're listening to Izzy Rock, host of Tales from the Hardside.
You're listening to the Tales of the Hardside podcast. This is Brian Redband.
Hey, what's up? This is Tom Segura, and you're listening to Izzy Rock on the Tales from the Hardside podcast.
Hey, this is Brendan Walsh, and you're listening to Izzy Rock on Tales from the Hardside.
You're here with my man Izzy motherfucking Rock, so pay attention. Told to you by Mad Flavor. So, check yourself before you wreck yourself, because like Ice Cube said, big dicks in your ass is bad for your motherfucking health. Izzy Rock in the house. Tales from the Hardside.